"Ma'am, I'm going to need you to step away from the fence." That was the first thing he said to me. Not hello, not excuse me, just an order. The kind that assumes guilt before it even asks a question. It was a warm Saturday afternoon in Charleston. The kind of day where the air hums with the sound of kids laughing and parents cheering from metal bleachers. My nephew, Jordan, was pitching his first Little League game, and I'd promised I wouldn't miss it for the world. I stood by the chain-link fence, camera in hand, smiling every time that boy wound up and threw like his life depended on it. That's when I felt a shadow behind me. "Ma'am," the officer said again, his tone sharper this time. "You can't just stand here watching kids. Are you with one of the players?" I blinked. "He's my nephew." He looked me up and down, his jaw tightening. "You got ID?" I frowned. "Why would I need ID to watch a baseball game?" "Because we've had complaints," he said. "Some of the parents said you've been standing here too long, taking pictures." I held up my camera. That's what ants do. They take pictures. But he didn't laugh. He called another officer over. Two of them now, both looking at me like I was trespassing on a world I didn't belong to. "Step away from the fence," the second one said, hand resting on his holster. The crowd had started to notice. Parents stopped cheering. The game slowed. Jordan's eyes found me, confusion written all over his face. I took a breath. "Officers, I don't know what you think is happening here, but I'm just here for the game." The first one smirked. "Lady, you fit a description. We had a report about someone loitering around the field earlier." "Loitering," I repeated, my voice shaking a little. "I'm standing at my nephew's game. Turn around, hands behind your back." The words hit harder than I expected. The cold metal of the cuffs bit into my skin. My nephew dropped his glove, staring at me in disbelief. I wanted to tell him it was okay, that Aunt Maya was fine, but my voice wouldn't come out. The crowd went silent as they walked me past the bleachers. I heard someone whisper, "Did she steal something?" Another said, "She looked suspicious." Suspicious. That word again. They put me in the back of the cruiser, heat pressing in through the windows. I could see the field fading behind us, Jordan standing alone on the mound, his small hands hanging uselessly by his sides. I closed my eyes and breathed slow. Not out of fear, I'd faced worse, but out of disappointment. Because I knew exactly what this was. It wasn't about loitering. It was about belonging. And to them, I didn't. I spent 3 hours in holding. No explanation, no apology. Just paperwork and sideways glances. When the door finally opened, a tall man in a navy suit walked in. I recognized him immediately. Chief Donovan, head of the city's police training division. His eyes widened when he saw me. "Agent Parker?" he said, almost whispering. I didn't smile. "That's right. The same Agent Parker who spent the last 7 years training your recruits on bias intervention and use force restraint." The two arresting officers froze in the corner. The room went dead quiet. Donovan turned to them, his voice low but sharp. "You two arrested a federal tactical instructor for loitering, without probable cause." They started to stammer, something about community safety, but he wasn't hearing it. He turned back to me. "Agent Parker, I can't tell you how sorry I am." I raised a hand. "Save it. I've heard it before." He sighed. "You have every right to press charges." I leaned back in my chair. I don't want their jobs. I want their minds changed. That's when I saw his expression shift from embarrassment to curiosity. "Then let me make you an offer," he said. 2 weeks later, I stood in front of 30 uniformed officers at the Charleston Police Training Academy. Same two faces from that ballpark sat in the front row, eyes down, shoulders tense. I clicked on the projector. The first slide came up, Perception and Bias in Community Policing. "Everyone in this room thinks they know what danger looks like," I said. "The truth is, you only know what you've been taught to fear." I told them about that day, about the baseball field, the cuffs, The silence. I didn't mention names. I didn't have to. One of the officers raised his hand. "Ma'am, what would you have done in our position?" I smiled softly. I would have asked one more question before assuming the answer. When the session ended, the two who'd arrested me stayed behind. The older one, Officer Hayes, swallowed hard and said, "I didn't know who you were." I nodded. "That's the problem, isn't it? You shouldn't have to." He hesitated, then offered his hand. "I'm sorry." For the first time since that day, I shook it, then started making it mean something. That evening, I went back to the baseball field. The sky burned orange over the stands, and Jordan was there again, glove in hand, grinning from ear to ear. He ran up to me. "They said you're a real agent, Aunt Maya, like in the movies." I laughed. "Something like that." He tilted his head. "Are they still mad at you?" I looked out over the field, parents laughing, kids running. No stares this time. Just normal. "Not anymore," I said. He smiled and tossed me the ball. "Good. Then you can pitch next time." I caught it easily, the leather warm in my palm, as the sun dipped low and the cheers filled the air. I thought about how fragile dignity can be, how quickly it's stolen, and how hard it fights its way back. That day, justice didn't come from punishment. It came from understanding, and sometimes, that's what changes everything.